where you want it.
Bay 12, please.
Hello there, Transformers fans, and welcome back to another Bay 12 video review. Today we are reviewing the new Transformers Studio Series 86 Brawn. And much like with my review with Beachcomber, my opinion of getting a new Brawn was I didn't find it totally super necessary when they announced them at first, but once I got him in hand, it is significantly better than the Prime Wars Trilogy release of Brawn. And I like this figure a lot more than I expected to, because as some of you may know from watching our reviews at this point, I prefer the Decepticons over the Autobots. So when we get an update to what I already thought was a pretty decent figure for an Autobot character in the main line, I'm a little hesitant at first because I'm like, I've already got a good Brawn. I don't need another Brawn. And then I saw it. And I was like, whoa, that Brawn does look pretty good. I'll pre-order it. We'll get some review content out of it. And if I like it, I'll keep it. If not, no big deal. Well, I like it. I actually like it a lot. I dare say this is the best mainline Brawn figure Hasbro has ever produced. And he looks very, very good. So anyway, here he is in the packaging. There is Brawn. You got some artwork of him there on the front with his fist thrusting forward because he is an Autobot of action. He is an Autobot who is willing to punch his way out of any scenario, or at least he tried, right? He tried to punch his way out of that scenario. It didn't work. And I'm looking forward to the Buzzworthy Bumblebee Hole in the Chest Edition Brawn to go with the Ironhide and Prowl. On the side, you've got a close-up of Brawn. On this side, you've got more of a full art image of Brawn. On the back, you've got some words and things. You've got images of Brawn in his robot mode and his Jeep mode, or off-road vehicle type mode. And that's pretty much it for the packaging. And here is Brawn's Studio Series backdrop. We've got the Autobot shuttle from the inside with the gaping hole blasted from the Decepticons so they could steal the Autobot shuttle. And here is Brawn with his Studio Series backdrop. He looks pretty awesome on that. And here is Brawn out of the packaging. And like I said, this is the best Brawn in the entire main line for Transformers at the moment. He looks absolutely fantastic. Very screen accurate to Generation 1, specifically the movie. Look at those awesome bright colored windows. He's got the spare tire, the Autobot symbol right there. Nice one on his chest. The color palette, they absolutely nailed it. It is so much better than the colors of the Prime Wars Brawn. And don't get me wrong, the Prime Wars Brawn was a good figure. It's actually a very good Brawn figure, and I've had it displayed in my collection ever since it came out. And I really do like this figure quite a bit. It's just, by comparison, this one is much better, and this one also scales much better with the current mainline generations than the Prime Wars Brawn. The new Brawn is fully articulated. Head is on a swivel joint and can turn from side to side. Fully articulated shoulders that are on a ball joint. Upper bicep, single jointed elbows. Wrists can go in and out due to transformation and don't have a swivel joint or anything like that. Waist, hips, upper thigh, single jointed knees, side ankle joints, and you also can close the feet together with the front of the foot and the back of the foot, but that's mostly due to transformation as well. He does come with one little blaster pistol right here, which looks pretty good. You can plug that onto the spare tire, which is also removable, by the way, in case he has a flat and you got to swap that out. You never know. You never know what happens when you're in the heat of battle. While the transformation is pretty simple, it's also one of the funnest transformations I've ever had with a Brawn figure. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by bringing this section down first. Now, you don't necessarily have to do this. I just like to do this as just visual preference for myself, but I like to rotate the head all the way around, and you'll see why when he's in his vehicle mode. And then we're going to take this section right here and we're going to rotate it up like so, and that's going to be the front of our little vehicle mode right there. And then we're going to put the head back inside. So as you can see, there's this gap here still while he's in vehicle mode, where if you lift up the vehicle, his face is just showing, which is not something I like in an alt mode. A lot of figures do it. And yes, I know I don't display my figures in vehicle mode, you know, with the bottom of the vehicle hanging out. These aren't RPMs. I display them in robot mode usually, or whatever their primary mode is. And if I display them in vehicle mode, it's, well, sitting right side up typically. So not a huge deal, just a preference of if I were to look at the bottom, I don't want to see a robot mode head just going, hey, how's it going, buddy? You know, like in the Bumblebee movie. Anyway, next step is we're going to grab each arm. We're going to rotate the shoulder assembly section down like so. Do the same thing over here, grab it, rotate that down like so. We're going to go ahead and push in the fists on the arms. Make sure those elbows are straight as well, and of course rotate that back down if it gets out of place when you're trying to adjust those arm bits. Rotate the waist all the way around. Next we're going to untab these sections and extend these leg sections all the way out. We're not going to quite close the feet just yet. Do the same thing over here, right, like so. And I like this because this is reminiscent of the original Generation 1 toy, so you could technically display him in robot mode with the original Generation 1 leg design if you want, if that's your preference. That's something totally funny and interesting that I think that they did with this toy also. Come over here to the back. We're going to extend that and kind of get this out of the way for the moment so we can fold some things into place, like the arms. So we're going to rotate these arm sections in, and then that's going to give you that window right there. And then we're going to come over here, we're going to rotate this one out and bring that in. Now you're going to tab these arms in the middle, and while you're doing that, you're also going to rotate the forearms so the fists are facing down, because those are also going to tab together in the middle. So we'll go ahead and just get those tabbed and lined up like they should be, like so. Next we have the legs. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this leg right here. We're going to, on this little hinge joint, bring that out, make sure those feet are closed and push that in. And then right here and right here are a tab. So this is going to tab in right there. This is going to tab in up here. And you're going to get that all tabbed together, securing that side of the vehicle mode. Do the same thing over here. Bring that shin, make sure those feet are closed, tab those tabs in, securing that all up. And then we're going to bring down the back of the vehicle mode. There are two little tabs right here, and those are going to tab into the back of the legs there, or rather the top of the legs on these edge of the fenders of the vehicle mode. And then bring down this little hatch piece, and that's going to tab into the legs as well. And there is Brawn in his little off-road vehicle mode, or Jeep vehicle mode, whatever you want to call it. It's an interesting little vehicle mode and kind of always has been. And then like I was saying earlier, see, you can see his head very, very clearly under the front of the vehicle mode right there. So if you don't turn the head around, he's just playing peekaboo with you. And again, it's not that big of a deal because like I said, I don't display my Transformers like this. If they're in vehicle mode, it's going to likely be like this. But it's up to you. It's just your preference of how you like to transform your figure. And for comparison, here is the new Brawn next to the old Brawn. And in vehicle mode, their differences are even more significant than in their robot mode. The off-road vehicle mode of his Prime Wars release is nowhere near as Generation 1 cartoon accurate as the new Studio 86, which is to be expected of a Studio 86 release. You would expect it to be very, very screen accurate, and they pretty much are for the most part. And again, this was a good Brawn for quite some time, but this one is significantly better, a much, much needed and necessary update. Now that I have it in hand, you can definitely tell. A much more needed update, in my opinion, than with the Beachcomber figures, because the differences between these two are way more significant than the differences between the new Beachcomber and the Prime Wars Beachcomber. However, yeah, they did Brawn justice with this figure, in my opinion. To be honest with you, my only complaint about this figure is the rear windshield is the only window that's not blue, and that's really it. Other than that, I feel like they absolutely nailed it with this figure. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to today's review featuring the new Transformers Studio Series 86 Brawn. Has a Brawn of this quality in the Transformers mainline been high up on your character wish list? Let me know in the comments. And were you also, like me, kind of holding out and seeing what you thought about this Brawn before you decided if you really wanted it in your collection or not? Because I'm sure there were plenty of other collectors who thought that this was a really good Brawn to keep in their collection. But like I said, once I got this one in hand, it wasn't even a contest at that point. I was a little hesitant at first when they announced it because, like I said, I already had a good Brawn. This is a good Brawn. It's just this Brawn is significantly better in every way. Every single way, this Brawn is way better than the other Brawn. So if you want a good Brawn in your collection, this is definitely the go-to, in my opinion. Stay tuned for more Transformers reviews. Stay tuned for more Studio Series 86 reviews. Like and subscribe. Follow us on social media. And check out our sister website, cooltoyreview.com, for all kinds of awesome toy reviews, news, and more. Subscribe to the Cool Toy Review YouTube channel for all kinds of awesome toy reviews and more. Link in the description down below. If you like Star Wars content, make sure you check out rebelscum.com every single day for daily Star Wars content. And like and subscribe to the rebelscum.com YouTube channel and social media for all kinds of awesome Star Wars toy reviews, news, and more. If you're looking for some awesome toys and merch like Transformers or Star Wars or something else, come by our physical location. It's inside Order 66 Multiverse in the shops at Willowbend Mall in Plano, Texas, and houses not only us, Bay 12, but also houses Order 66 Toys, the nation's official Star Wars collectible toy store. And in case you're not local, well, they go live every single Friday night at 7 p.m. Central Time, and they ship all around the world. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. Transform and roll out.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.